Hi dear friends, welcome back to Akshadare. I am Devraj. So ಇವತ್ತು 17th August 2023 ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷನ್ನ ಕಲಿತಿದ್ದೀರ ಅನ್ಕೊಂತೀನಿ. So I hope you guys learning the English language and also make you better in communication. And also following the tips which I have given in the previous videos. So let's start today newspaper reading. Before going to start the newspaper reading, I would request you guys to please subscribe the channel, like and comment, and share the video if you like the video, and please watch the video till the end so that I can give, if there is any opportunities, I can tell you in the at the end of the video. So let's start today newspaper reading. Yes, let's start today newspaper reading. Make it visible and see what's in the front page of the news. 53-member CBI team to investigate cases. 14,903 crore boost for Digital India. Chandrayaan another step closer to moon. Cementing digital authoritarianism in India. Democratic backsliding in the digital space. Prague wins game 2, takes it to the decider. Cabinet note for 10,000 electric buses in 169 cities. PM e-bus Seva scheme has an estimated budget of 57,613 crore, of which the center will provide 20,000 crore. 181 cities without organized bus services will get green mobility infrastructure. 7 railway projects worth 32,500 crore given proposal. Don't hate to remove rumors and guarantees. Government. FC unveils handbook to eliminate gender stereotypes from law. BMTC bus runs over, kills a 4-year-old girl. Very bad incident. Agar वापसी आप बीजेपी MLAs on the courts in state. NCBS museum in city puts together a collection of bees from across India. Green Hodge, an eco champion of UP. For a sustainable tomorrow, friends with nature. UP government and the state forest department have been playing a key role in protecting and conserving the flora and fauna of the region. In line with this, they planted 167 crore saplings in the last 6 years. The impact has been significant and helped in increasing the population of wildlife, endangered trees species, and heritage trees closely associated with mythology. UP's circular economy. 5-year-old girl allegedly raped by uncle cousin for nearly 8 months. What a bad incident, yeah. 4 college teams with win Kavach 2023 Cybersecurity Hackathon Award. Comedy plays on August 20. Case CPCR to study mobile phone addiction among children. Commission forms 10 teams comprising teachers, students, parents, government officials, psychiatrists, NGO representatives, and other experts up for this study, which will begin this weekend. Techie gets over 150 calls from unknown numbers on pretext of missed calls. 32-year-old from Sigehalli in Bangalore East was bugged by repeated calls from unknown numbers for about 2 weeks on the pretext of returning his missed calls. He was preoccupied by ignoring the calls or receiving them. About 20 days ago, the attackee received a call when a person on the other side rang for the second time. The caller, who spoke in Hindi, he said he had received a missed call from the techie number. The techie responded to him saying he did not call and ignored the incident.
But a few minutes later, his phone rang again, and this time it was a different number. He answered the call, and the caller said the same, to which he responded he did not give the missed call. The techie, although the title surprised, did not take it seriously. The techie was fed up seeing multiple calls from unknown numbers on the first day till 7 p.m. This continued the next day, perturbed by the calls. He started to ignore them, but he still got multiple calls from the same number, forcing him to take the call. This went on for 2 weeks. When customer K didn't come to his rescue, he filed a complaint at Whitefield CN police station on August 8th. For the last 3 days, the calls have stopped. He said he also realized that he was not the only who received such calls. Another person whom he met at the police station came with the same complaint. A telecom company informed another victim that his number may have been impersonated by cyber criminals and they were calling these numbers to do dupe targets. The cyber police said it was a case of spoofing. There are multiple apps where one can mask the original number with another number. The posters have multiple contact numbers in the database and they randomly select some number and put it in an application. The number of posters put on the app reflects on the other person's phones whom they are calling dupe. The original number gets masked. This trend is on the surge, police said. As guys, you guys have to aware about these fraudsters. And also, do not answer always any unknown numbers if it is not from saved number. Two teachers killed. Two persons were killed in an accident involving two bikes on Tuesday night at Mati Nagar Road near Kingi. What are the to be held today? Music show tomorrow. Entries invited for inter-school contest. Don't heed to rumors and guarantees. Government. Over the last few days, rumors report have been circulating, claiming that Sakti and other schemes are on the verge of being withdrawn. A collection of bees at a Bengaluru Museum. BMTC bus runs over girls. Thank you, Raichu and Yadgiri, for taking this season to gastronomical heights. Garu Apsi of a few BJP MLAs on the cards instead. There is a speculation that 4 or 5 BJP MLAs are likely to shift to the Congress. 14 Congress and 3 JDS MLAs quit their parties in 2019, leading to the collapse of the coalition government. Sidramaya meets MLA of three districts. Use of SCSP TSP fund for guarantee schemes proposed. Former DRDO chairman V.S. Arnachalam passes away. Object of a registering corruption case lost if Lokayukta leaves the loophole by way of procedural defects. Council nominations. Government awards governor's approval on 3 names. Mammoth problems, meaningful solutions. In the second and concluding part of the series on initiatives that strive to mitigate instances of man elephant conflicts with the help of technology. The Hindu presents 2 projects in Karnataka. Understanding the frontier elephants. The team has been co creating mitigation strategies that are cheap and easy to implement. Omani patient undergoes complex robot-assisted surgery for narrowed urethra of untransplanted kidney. The patient had a recurrent urinary tract infection needing multiple courses of IV antibiotics as well as multiple ICU admissions. Live and loud. Get your dose of everything from hip hop to electronic with fusion to indie rock this weekend in the city. A live love of life feature, the soul Tarang Joseph. Google Astronomy Cultural Series to begin. Chandrayaan 3 takes another crucial step closer to Moon. ISRO performs a spacecraft's final orbit reduction maneuver after separation of the propulsion module and lander today. Both will embark on their respective journeys. Soft landing on August 23. Six, including five from Rajasthan, die as lorry rams into auto. Two batches of beer bottled at Nanjangud plant found unfit for consumption. Bajrang Dal leaders booked for provocative speech. Enacted to cement a digital authoritarianism. Let's read this editorial page, see what's in this. You may say that you wanted to be forgotten, but the state does not want to forget you. This chilling argument for dominance over every Indian's life was rejected 6 years ago. In August 2017, by the Supreme Court of India in the first Puttaswamy decision, the court reaffirmed the fundamental right to privacy while requiring the union government to introduce the data protection law in parliament. As per this judgment, instead in 2023, the country has now got the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023 or the Data Act. Its provisions, according to Amrita Jori and Anjali Bhardwaj, who are associated with the National Campaign for People's Right to Information and Sathark Nagrik Sangathan, threaten the very foundations of transparency and accountability. And Professor Subhashis Banerjee, Professor Computer Science and Engineering, IIT Delhi, says it facilitates data collection and processing by the government and private entities rather than data protection, making Indians stand in line. But why did the Data Act take this shape? The answer rests in total state control. A digital leads to hang us and make us stand in line than serve the preambular objectives of the Constitution of India. Months after inaugurating the Digital India program in July 2015, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was in Silicon Valley in September 2015, announced that technologies advancing citizen empowerment and democracy that once drew their strength from Constitution. This speech reveals a misplaced belief in the curative powers of techno-solutionism, and that all our problems will be fixed by the digital revolution rather than a transformative constitution. This ideology requires a continuous expansion of state power that is the result of a tie-up between surveillance capital and surveillance welfare. It is most visible in digital public goods built with vast state resources and the personal data of every citizen. These deployments break promises on delivery, tighten a digital lease, and create fresh problems. Let us take the example of Arogya Setu. According to MIT Technology Reviews, a quite tracing tracker, India is the only democracy to make its contact tracing app mandatory. Neither the privacy policy nor the terms of service for the app were publicly accessible. Yes, due to outrage, these were added later, but the same issue re-emerged with the online vaccination platform Cowin. Indians needed to ask themselves to answer this question honestly. Did you install Arogya Setu to travel or enter a building? Or did you use it as a reliable method to avoid infection? How did it work for you? Quite simply, the state views data protection as being a nuisance to its digital programs, which is inherent in the architecture design. Take for example the smart cities mission, which at its heart requires an integrated command and control center to gather real-time data of residents and pull it in databases. It has missed its two deadlines from June 2021, and has been extended by 3 years to June 2024. Indians need to be answer needs to answer this question honestly. While there are more cameras that watch you handle lead strips and the roads and metro stations, do our cities feel any safer or smarter? Then there are more direct measures for mass surveillance that dispense with any camouflage. Examples are the tender in 2018 for a social media communications hub, which wanted to create a 360-degree view over your social media accounts for molding nationalistic feelings. Or a tender on June 28, 2019 to build a national automated facial recognition system as the world's largest facial recognition system. In one way or other, all these projects are granted a legal sanctity through exception under the Great Data Act rather than protecting the ordinary citizen. The Act prescribes duties such as not to suppress any material information while providing her personal data for any document. It imposes fines up to 10,000 on at risk groups of religious, caste, gender, and sexual minorities that might provide incomplete or incorrect information for their personal safety. Thinking by the government. According to the government, there is scaremongering in the country. Instead, we should trust it with our privacy as a data. Act is a new social contract to participate in a digital society. Given the vague nature of the Data Act, it will appeal more to a partisan than a constitutionalist, since trust is based on allegiance of a favored political ideology than a rights-based law. It has also been argued that with experience, the Data Act will improve over time. This is a magical thinking as it ignores the democratic backsliding in a digital India. Several recent pieces of legislation create databases that fit an authoritarian frame containing the intimate details of Indians and their family units. This includes the Criminal Procedure Identification Act 2022 that has been made into law. As per Project 39A, it creates databases unnecessary while also infringing on the fundamental rights. More recently, the Registration of Births and their Deaths Amendment Act 2023 builds a national database seeded with other, which means data sharing literally from cradle to fire. It is clear from a map of government projects, policies, and laws that all things lead to a data act as the destination for total state control. This tight clasp over our smartphones is incomplete without the private sector. There is also the financial objective for the digital sector to contribute a fifth to the ambitious $5 trillion economy target by 2030. According to the National Economic Survey, this may be achieved by even having the government selling our data. It is a mistake to term the Data Act as a light touch regulation as it provides for vast yet vague ministerial discretion. The union government can exempt a single company or a class of companies from compliances or CO moto file a complaint against them to a data protection board of India that it constitutes and controls. Further inspiration seems to have been drawn from the national intelligence law of China, where it can now demand any such information as it may call for. With such a law, the private sector will perpetually seek the favor of party workers, bureaucrats, and union ministers for vague compliances. As may be prescribed, companies will fear a government that can pick winners and losers in India's digital market. Again, this follows a path of a centralized state command where industrial concentration has alarmed former Reserve Bank of India, Deputy Governor of Viral Acharya and economic Noriel Raubini who won against select firms as in national champions. While a set of giant private Companies may risk economic growth for the state. Having fewer pumps will be easier to control. These developments coincide with a fall in global rankings for economic liberty by conservative centers such as the Cato Institute's Human Freedom Index, the Heritage Foundation, and the Hudson Institute. A warning to heed. So, where does it leave the citizens of India? In September 2018, nearly a year after its decision on these fundamental rights to privacy, the Supreme Court upheld but also limited the other program. Justice Deva Chandrachud, in his dissenting judgment, drew from Nobel Prize winning author Alexander Solzhenitsyn experience in Stalinist Russia. The invisible threats of Soviet society networked on biometric data had grave portents for the future, and unless the law mandates an effective data protection framework, the quest for liberty and dignity would be as ephemeral as the wind. This Delphic warning has achieved a dystopian realization with the Data Act. Incremental amendments are specific rule making when in isolation will not decrease state coercion, as this law is only a symptom of a deeper civic rot. India requires a wider constitutional reboot on digital authoritarianism. Let's go to the next page. New bills and a principled course for criminal law reforms. The recent introduction of three bills transforming India's criminal laws, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita to replace the Indian Penal Code, the Bharatiya Nagarika Suraksha Sanhita to replace the Code of Criminal Procedure, and the Bharatiya Sakshya Bill to replace the Indian Evidence Act, has ignited a spectrum of reactions. Amidst what is unfolding, the challenge lies in ensuring that there is a debate which also leads to productive contributions, as the bills have the potential to shape future criminal law. The issues of sustainability, efficacy, adherence to the rule of law, and justice delivery capacity are paramount. Principles of criminal law, in Alan Nowry words, are a site of struggle and contradiction. Capturing the collective public aspirations within criminal law reform presents a formidable challenge. The disparities between polarized popular opinions must be balanced with the state's perspective. Criminal law is an instrument of social control. It molds and guides us in more ways than one. It molds and guides us in more ways than one. The conditioning of stakeholders and functionaries of the Macaulay era criminal laws for 163 years and enabling complicates the task of criminal law reforms. It is too early to decide whether the bills will cause large scale changes in the legal landscape. The success or failure of criminal law reforms hinges on their inception, formulation, resilience, and foresightedness. The purported alterations pale in comparison to the deep seated challenges besieging India's criminal justice system. Seemingly, the bills highlight an abundance of missed opportunities, some reformative measures. At the same time, the assertion that these bills are draconian when compared to their previous iterations lacks merit. Among others, the bills exhibit moderative modifications fostering gender inclusivity and replacement of anachronistic terms such as unsoundedness of mind with mental illness. There is also a measured reconfiguration in punishments for minor and serious offenses, significantly the integration of information and communications technology applications with the criminal justice processing is noteworthy. Although limited, innovations such as trial in absentia and the introduction of community service are commendable. The exclusion of attempted suicide and adultery aligns the black letter of the law with the Supreme Court of India's decisions. Notably, the offense of sedition has been judiciously tempered through the introduction of culpability constraints. newly created offenses such as terrorism, organized crime, mob lynching, and negligent acts are too hard novel dimensions. The test. The debate on the bills should not revolve merely around ascertaining positive or negative outcomes. Instead, the pivotal concern lies in ascertaining whether the fundamental tenets of criminal jurisprudence have been upheld throughout this process. The trajectory of the reforms and their operational dynamics remain uncertain. Nonetheless, the principled foundation of criminal laws can be examined methodically. The primary principle for such adjudication remains the extent to which reforms address the needs and concerns of those impacted by criminal justice, especially the realization of fundamental and statutory rights. Considerable critique of criminal law reform originates from concerns regarding potential infringements on individual liberties. The amended laws must strike a balance between state security imperatives and individual freedoms. The efficiency of reforms hinges on their capacity to effectively curtail potential misuse by functionaries. Criminal laws are generally detested for their failure to discharge their function as protective tools for subjects. Law reforms typically fail on this count. Second, following the principles of criminalization is in creating new offenses is equally pertinent. There is a need to study the principled basis of the harm or the moral or legal offense caused by such criminalized conduct. Third, criminal laws in this country for the class divides as the rich and the resourceful get better access to justice when compared to the marginalized and the vulnerable. Therefore, the principles of equality, and equitability become essential checks on criminal law reform. Arguably, criminal laws confront a crisis of public trust resulting in legitimacy deficiencies. Fourth, it is fallacious to assume without conclusive evidence to the contrary that the populace opposes stringent measures against terrorists or organized criminals. At the same time, increasing severity in laws does not ipso facto instill public confidence in the criminal justice system. The upcoming bills, therefore, face a pivotal challenge in bridging the gap between rhetoric and reality. The potency of our reforms hinges on the criminal justice system's capacity to implement it effectively. Regardless of their linguistic merit, systemic shortcomings make numerous legal provisional infeasible. Final, the effectiveness of the reforms will also be tested on the basis of its impact upon the status of the vulnerable victims and the poor. States power asset. Over the years, the functionaries responsible for its enforcement considerably denuded the essence of the criminal law. The political executive has invariably sought to wield criminal law as a preemptive tool. Criminal law remains a strategic power asset for the state. Concepts of risk, endangerment, and dangerousness continue to contaminate the criminal law jurisprudence. The proliferation of this preventive approach to criminal law raises a legitimate concerns. As the bills are placed before the Select Committee for its consideration, it is expected that this committee will allow greater engagement to improve the draft in terms of language and substance. The space must be utilized to accommodate greater provisions concerning victims' rights and participation. Hate crime bail, sentencing framework, and legal aid in pending bills. The envisioned criminal law reforms must foster the rule of law and fortify the pursuit of justice. This is about the new bills, a principle and a principled course of criminal law reforms. It's about the criminal law reforms. Let's go to the next. Housing for all. Addressing housing shortage in urban areas requires urgent, concerted efforts. The future will not forgive the government. Kusina Mane, redefining child care. The scheme envisages child care support for women enrolled under MGNIG are poor quality courses in the UK impacting Indians. Only 17% of the students who arrived in 2017 in UK got work visas compared to 37 who arrived in 2004. Struggle for control of poverty in China. Reddit study leave. The data for the charts was sourced from the United Kingdom's Higher Education Statistics Agency, the Migrant Journey Report, and the Guidance University Guide 2003. AIDW wants Bahrain to quit for political solution. 53-member CBI team to probe Manipur cases. 3 officials are of DIG rank and 2 of them are women. In June, CBI officials visited places connected to 6 cases of violence in state. Sent us a draft. SOP wants courts to exercise restraint. Cabinet note for 10,000 e-buses in 769 cities. Handbook to eliminate gender stereotypes. Congress questions PM's silence over CAG reports that flag irregularities. This is when only 5 tall plazas were audited. Imagine if every taller plaza in this country is audited, what would be the tune of this scam be? Odisha government withdraws the controversial deemed forest order. ADBM Karnataka to be set up to set up 2 microsites to accelerate digital health adoption. VHP denies relation with Bittu Bajrangi after his arrest. Article 370 no relic but an example of capitalism. Council. Vishwakarma scheme will aid 30 lakh artisan families. Expansion of Digital India program gets 14,903 crore outlay. Cabinet note for 7 rail connectivity projects worth 32,500 crore. Petty move. Congress had name change of Nehru Memorial. Hamilton citizens express solidarity with a new click. Two killed in Joshimath has heavy rain ravages the hills. Houses and roads collapsed in Uttarakhand. Over 5,000 people evacuated in Himachal. The government is preparing a long-term disaster preparedness plan to address future disasters, says Suku. Cracks on Jagannath temple's Natha Mandap raises concern. UGC to standardize PG courses in study of manuscripts. Video images of mob attack on boy at railway terminus. Center and WHO to launch global initiative on digital health. Continue COVID-19 testing to check emergence of new virus variants. WHO chief. Rahul Gandhi nominated to standing committee. 2 youth held for posting video of Pakistan Independence Day. SC stays railway demolition drive at Mathura in UP. Propitiating Parvati in Hadi. 7 troops killed, 20 injured in new Niger attack, says Defense Ministry. Truce holds in Libya after armed clashes kill 55, injure 146 media. Over 60 dead has migrant boat sinks of Cape Verde. UN agency. British Museum sacks employee over missing of damaged trumps. Mob attacks spark churches over blasphemy allegations. Violence broke out after a Christian family was accused of desecrating the Quran. Bishop Ajad Marshal of Lahore says the Christian community in Pakistan is deeply pained and distressed. Recaptured village on southern front. Ukrainian grain reports it by Russian drones again. China says economic recovery torturous. US beeps up military presence in the Gulf. Germany okays a controlled use of cannabis. Textile exports can continue to decline. Textile products worth a total of 1,067 663 million was shipped last month compared with 1695 million in July 2022. Industry experts believe that exports might revive in the coming session if domestic cotton prices turn competitive. State-owned NMDC slashes iron ore prices by 3,300 per ton. Aurobindo gets US FDA node for generic icatibant injection. Hyundai Impact to acquire select GM assets in Telagavan. Center plans to sell stake in IRFC via OFS. Two promoter entities sell 8% stake in Adani Power for 8,710 crore. TVS Motor may make BMW bikes abroad. Repco Home Finance aims to 12% growth in AUM, lower gross NPA. ODI World Cup trophy brought to Taj Mahal with 50 days to go. Pakistan Wahab Riaz calls time on his international career. Samuel guilty of breaching 4 counts of anti-corruption code. Stokes in England's provisional squad for ODI World Cup. Pragnanand strikes back. Gukeshan Vidit eliminated. Ruthless England just too good for fighting Australia. The Chennai youngster needing a win after losing to Arjun in the first takes the quarterfinal to the tie-break phase. Carlson comes out with a F59 move draw to progress while Aboso continues remarkable run. Caruana gets past Farage. Indian compound archers march into the final. Chennai Formula Racing Street has circuit launched. Bumrah bowls at India nets after 11 months, shows high intensity. All-round Manvant swings it Tigers away. Ajuchi into that round half. 16 Sivaraj lone Indian to survive. Messi on target as Miami reaches a League's Cup final. Annual fires began first match Indra. The Indians would want to adopt the Fulton style. He is a very experienced coach and took Ireland to the Olympics after a very long gap. He was the assistant coach with Belgium for many years, and the team became a champion in all major tournaments during his time there. Wanted to catch a supernova? There is a new app for that. The new app called Jart is built along with the lines of the augmented reality mobile game Pokemon Go. Its USP is that it allows the user to do serious science while playing a game. Students from the IITs at Mandi and Gandhinagar were involved in its development. It uses the open source Sky Map. High in the Andes, water levels fall to historic lows in Lake Titicaca. Pliny daylight in the night, the Maori gets great torches, aurora. Text and context page. The number of grievances redressed by state in July. Growth in Coal India's expenditure in April to July of financial 24. Amount approved by Union Cabinet for PM Vishwakarma scheme. Estimated cost of 7 multi-tracking projects of Indian Railways, 32,500 crore. UK inflation falls to a 17-month low in the month of July. Understanding the MOEFCC's U-turn. Why did the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change go back on its plan to merge various environmental organizations? What was the ministry intention behind the move? What were the criticisms against the merger? Why is Bihar's caste-based survey facing legal challenges? Why is the union government against a caste census? Why did the Patna High Court uphold the survey? This is the last page. How the richest country in the world has allowed its poor to remain poor. Now let us know phrase famous man, Poverty by America, the other America. Sociologist Matthew Desmond points out that poverty is deeply linked with racism, mass incarceration, the housing crisis, domestic violence, gun violence in neighborhoods, the opioid epidemic, welfare cuts, and social isolation. It's very bad. Animal Farm by George Orwell, best known for its dystopian themed storytelling, was first deployed published on August 17, 1945. Isaac Vijan novels were written on the same theme. This is the last page, guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the newspaper reading. So, at least read, continue for next 2 hours. At least read a minimum 2 hours to make you better in communication in English communication. So I hope you guys please subscribe the channel, like and comment, and share with your friends to utilize the opportunities by Akshadari. See you in the upcoming videos, guys. Have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.